is shooting with a camera, and that shit looks like it's not very professional. It just makes it think like, oh, this is taking place in the everyday world. This is done by somebody just like me. These are people just like me in this situation. But sometimes when you look at stuff that's not very polished, it can take on an otherworldly look. I mean, that whole thing of Nosferatu in that black and white movie, I mean, the way he moves, it looks scary. Because it looks unnatural.
And the thing is that it's funny that a film like Nosferatu, when you watch it, it's like, at least to me, like nobody's come as close as to getting a film that kind of creepy and that eerie as far as just, a presentation wise. I mean, even the actor they got, Max Schreck, to do the Nosferatu character.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not ever going to find another guy that looks like him, because half the time I'm wondering, okay, what's prosthetics and what's really him? I mean, and when you think about the time it was shot, you're like, well, I know they had so much to work with, but shit, this guy looks like he's a real vampire. I mean, there's something really eerie about
if you saw
the way he walks, his manners.
Well, again, if you saw that guy in the makeup in real life and saw him walking around with it on. I mean, even if the movie was shot and we still got to see the natural movements of what it was like, I wonder if it would be as scary. But watching it with, sometimes frames dropping out and the camera, I don't think that camera was the way that camera was filming the actors at the time, or filming anything. I think the frame rate was slightly off.
I think it was. It was one. I know
it was one of those hand cranked cameras.
Cameras.
So again, it adds to just an unnatural movement that. While it's a defect of the equipment, but it's made it look like an unworldly creature,
and it worked perfectly.
Yeah,
it's still memorable. I mean, shit.
No, I think about how that effect has been used for so many different things, video games, and people have used it even today just for certain parts of horror films, which they don't know how to do.
No, and you know what? And it's funny. It's like, you know what? Why are you trying to emulate this with a computer? Just go find one of those, do some work and fucking go find one of those cameras and just shoot it with that film. I mean, I know it's possible. It is possible, but don't try to recreate it with your computer, because that shit's always going to look like it was made on a goddamn computer,
Yeah. I don't want to see that shit.
Have some balls and go find the equipment they actually used and just film it.
I've seen people do that in video games too. Fatal Frame.
Oh, really? You ever play I've heard of it, but I've never played it.
The game's a little slow for me, but there are some creepy things in there. You go through a house and you have to take pictures of ghosts in order to.
Oh yeah.
That's the thing that stops them. I guess you have to take a snapshot of them and. I don't know, the process of taking a photograph traps them inside the camera or something, or defeats them. But anyway, you're walking through a haunted house and it's like,
I'll be running around with my Polaroid. Go,
yes.
Get back, ghost.
Yeah, good luck working.
Using that tells you.
Yeah, good luck using your iPhone to get out that shit. Man, I'm trying to think of what else we have here.
As far as we talked about. We gave our recommendations. The movies, which is easily Halloween 3, Dark Knight of the Scarecrow, Deranged, Motel Hell shit. Did you want to talk about? Let me see. Did you want to talk about some of the when we talk about Halloween shit we remember? Do you remember back in the days when they used to have like haunted house soundtracks that were worth the shit?
Yes.
Back in the day, where sometimes they had a narrator, or they just had some creepy, like, public domain music playing along with really cool sound effects.
I remember that shit used to be on records, man.
Oh, yeah.
That shit was on records, and they would be just whole albums of nothing but noises.
Oh, yeah.
Of you, like, going through a haunted house or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be. I mean, it was almost like it was trying to tell a story,
right?
Or take you on a tour through a haunted house, but it was all mostly done with sound effects. Like you said, every now and then they'd have a narrator.
Yeah,
and
which is great. And
I was able to find one because you had it. What is it? Is it a Disney record?
Okay, the one with the male narrator.
Yeah.
Okay, that one was called A Night in the Haunted House / A Night in the Graveyard.
Well, I remember that shit. That shit used to. You used to, because I remember I used to be with my friends. We put on an album and listen to that shit, and just freak ourselves out because we listened to it. Did you ever I would have a friend come over and spend the night, and we would put that album on and freak ourselves out, sit in the dark.
Yeah, I used to do that. Okay, I had one of those bullshit LPs where it was like a box. It looked like just a box you'd open up, and it was made out of plastic. You'd open it up, and it was a record player. Sometimes those boxes had Winnie the Pooh on the front.
Yeah,
yeah, a little kid like.
What you talking about? You still got that shit.
I could open up my Winnie the Pooh record player, and I'd put that record on. And just, going back to the fact that some things like VHS were scary, listening to one of those albums and getting that needle and placing it on the album where you hear like the pops from the needle, from the record needle.
Yeah.
That just added a whole nother dimension of creepiness to the album when you listen to it. And yeah, I one time tried to listen to that thing in the dark in my room. And I couldn't do it. It freaked me the fuck out.
That shit, no. That's what we would do. I would have to have somebody with me.
Oh, see, yeah. Well, I didn't have a lot of friends, Corey. I really didn't.
It's just you. It's you and that. Your friend was that Winnie the Pooh record player that you had.
That's Winnie the Pooh was my pal, just staring at me like Michael Myers while I was playing this. All right, Pooh. We're gonna get scared tonight. Oh boy. It's like I'm thank God I was able to listen to that because. I mean, yeah, being frightened. If I had to have another person in that room, those records would never. I'd have no idea about these records. I never played them. I was too chicken shit.
Yeah, no, you'd have to have somebody. Man, there's no way I could. I mean, even as silly as they are now, I don't even think I could sit in a room and listen to them in the dark by myself. Yeah. I remember being a kid. I think that's why my parents probably thought I was gay because I was sitting in the dark listening to records with another guy.
Your mom opened the door. Hey, where are you boys? What's going on? Why are you guys under the covers?
Yeah, exactly. We're under a sheet listening to fucking scary.
Yeah.
What the hell is going on in here? We're listening to scary music. What the fuck y'all are? Get your ass up and get outside and play.
Music. It's December.
We're getting an early start.
Yeah. We were living the good times.
Now, I really can't explain why we were holding hands, but
we were scared.
We were scared. I was about to say,
yeah. Hold me tight.
She comes in there and sees us hugging each other.
Yeah.
We're scared. We're afeared. But let me get this out, man.
Yeah, here's one of the tracks.
Let's see.
From A Night in a Haunted House. Oh, boy. You hear that wind?
That wind's coming through, boy. Okay, that's enough. I can't get no more.
That shit.
Fuck that.
I still got to go to sleep tonight.
That's all I can take.
Changing that, yeah.
Leave me in here with a living vampire,
How about we just hang out tonight and play video games until morning?
Yeah.
There's a big, dark house near here. A very large, derelict house. It's known locally as Hangman's Folly. This old mansion. But that's what it really is.
Okay, now it's starting to sound like somebody's just behind the guy making that noise with their mouth. You know what it sounds like? Sounds like somebody's behind him making a frappuccino.
Yeah, I know.
This dude is recording this shit at Starbucks.
Yeah.
It's built on a hill. A strange and barren hill.
Grande frappuccino.
Yeah, next.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, you mind talking somewhere else?
Yeah. Okay, thank you, sir.
A place where birds don't sing and animals won't go. Horses shy, and dogs run with hackles raised in fright. Nothing much grows there anymore. It is a dank and desolate place where nobody stays for long. They say it's haunted, but we don't believe in such nonsense. Do we? Only the foolhardy would venture there at night.
Corey.
I know.
Mind the cobwebs.
Would be funny if that did just interrupt with like, large frappuccino for Fred.
Yeah.
That's me. Thank you. Yes. I will enjoy this as I go back to my table. And yes, sir, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Next.
Yeah, come on, next. I'm busy here.
Stay close together. For this is the edge of darkness. The point of no return.
Man, we yelled so loud the computer stopped. Yeah.
I was wondering. I was like, the computer got scared. It's like, all right,
The computer's like,
shit no more.
laptop got up and ran out of here.
Like he grew legs.
Get this shit off me.
Packed up a suitcase. Got the on his hat and got the fuck out of
It's funny when we scream that cat. Did you see that cat get up? That cat. There's a cat laying next to co-host over here. And that cat's head, we were like, oh, and that cat was like, oh, what the fuck?
That cat woke up, go, yeah. No idea.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. No, this is that good old fashioned shit, man.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
they don't make records like this anymore.
No,
and
not at
see,
all.
that's one of the things and people I hate to keep reminiscing about, man. Your Halloween wasn't like our Halloween back in the day.
Halloween sucks.
Yeah, you don't know nothing. Boy, you don't know nothing about no Halloween.
Yeah, not with these cheap ass like fucking $10 bullshit sound effects you can buy
know.
that are already on my Apple computer.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you don't know nothing about no cheap Casper costumes.
Oh no.
You don't know nothing about no scary records.
Back when people cared.
I know, man. It's I guess because we're in the digital age now, and everybody thinks of things in chunks or little increments, or you got to download this for 99 cents or whatever, and because we're thinking in those little small, granted, little, they like people like to say digestible, just little small, a la carte way of thinking. We don't get the whole narrative even done with sound effects because, it doesn't make sense to put it on iTunes.
Yeah.
And that's sad, man, because
I
this
know.
kind of thing was fun.
You miss out on stuff like this, and yeah, just it goes back to one of those things where I mean you could tell the people who put these albums together like really cared about what they were doing.
Yeah.
They really tried to form some kind of structure, some kind of narrative, and just get creative with the sound effects. Which I mean, there's a part. It's actually part of a Dark Night in a Graveyard where like this month I've been researching all this old stuff. I love looking for it every Halloween because people tend to find it in their record collection, put it on their computers and write blogs about them and have them available where people can just download. Like if you go and look for haunted house music blogs, you'll find some blogs where people have like some out of print, like old, like haunted house records like this and they put it on so you can order it. And it's amazing to see people who remember this shit from their childhood. It's amazing where they're like, I've been looking for this forever. Because a lot of these albums are out of print. You can't even find the companies are non-existent anymore. And it's cool that at least with the digital age, the one thing good about it is you have people who download it and you can easily access it over the internet. But the care that it took into making these albums, you really don't find that anymore, man. It's sad.
You don't, man. And it is sad because, like I said, it's rare that you're gonna find somebody these days who makes an album, a whole album, and a narrative made out of like cheesy narration and sound effects. Granted, no matter how cheesy it is, this shit, it's still kind of spooky, man.
It really is. I mean, I told you, when I was going to El Paso, I was listening to this other album where they use like public domain, real creepy music playing along with these sound effects. And, driving through an old town in Texas, it really added atmosphere to my drive. It really made me go, man, this is just creepy enough. I should like pay people to ride in the co-host
and you
mobile.
in that little co-host mobile.
Yeah, I know. I should charge people
Looking like a little race
$20.
car going down the street, like a little remote control car.
It's $20 for each track. Yeah.
Oh. Ice cream! Hey, no matter what neighborhood it is, they always got that Mexican with that wagon, that little ice cream wagon. Even here.
Ice cream!
What's the word for it? Hey, that's chief. I want to say helado. Helado. I don't know if that's it, though. But it's funny because, this dude's talking about no one comes anymore. It's the place of no return. Except for that Mexican with that ice cream
I
wagon.
still got to sell ice cream. I got to send this money back to Mexico, boy.
I don't
care what time of night it is.
Exactly. Shit, I'll sell this to a ghost or anybody.
Yeah.
Helado.
If you got ghosts, I'll scare them away with my bell. They call me Cucuy Busters.
Oh. Ooh. Taco Bell Lugosi.
He's coming to get a fork.